Owning your story, be honest with yourself about your experiences. Shame dissolves with truth. When you own your story, you take your power back. That's the truth no one tells you in the moment. The truth you only discover when you're standing in the aftermath of a decision, your heart racing, your thoughts spinning, wondering if what you did, what you said, what you felt was right or wrong. It doesn't matter if it was a frat party hookup, a failed relationship, or a mistake you never thought you'd make. When you speak your truth, the shame loses its grip on you. You stop being a prisoner to your secrets, and you become the author of your life. You see, too many of us try to run from parts of ourselves. We filter our stories for approval. We say it was nothing, or it didn't mean anything, or worse, we pretend it never happened, but deep down it sits there. It festers, it grows into self-doubt, into guilt, into silence, and that silence becomes the loudest voice in our heads. But here's the thing, the second you say, yeah, that was me, that happened, and here's what I learned, everything changes. That's what Luke did. He didn't hide behind excuses or blame. He didn't deflect. He didn't rewrite the night into something more polished. He sat with it, he faced it, and he spoke it out loud. That's what owning your story looks like. It's raw, it's uncomfortable, and it's real asterisk. But it's also liberating, because when you tell the truth, when you stop running, you finally breathe again. You stop trying to be perfect and start trying to be whole asterisk. And don't misunderstand, owning your story isn't about glorifying it. It's not about turning a hookup into a hero's tale. It's about saying, this is what happened, this is where I was emotionally, this is what I didn't understand at the time, and this is how I will show up differently now. You don't need applause for that. You need honesty, you need courage, you need the guts to look at your reflection and say, I'm still worthy, even if I've made mistakes. People think vulnerability is weakness. That's a lie. Vulnerability is the hardest thing you will ever choose. Because it means standing in front of others and saying, here I am, not the highlight reel, not the curated version, just me. And when you do that, when you have the courage to speak your truth, not just for attention but for understanding, you give others permission to do the same. You create connection, you invite healing. Luke's story may have started with a hookup, but it became something much deeper. A reflection, a reckoning, a choice to be more than just another party story. It became a moment of ownership, and that's what I want you to remember. Your power comes not from what happened, but from what you do with what happened. Tell your story, own it fully, because that is where your strength begins. Let me know if you'd like this rewritten as a monologue F, turned into a TD Talk excerpt F, or used in a classroom setting F. Vulnerability is strength, opening up takes courage, and that courage leads to connection and self-worth. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is the boldest form of strength we will ever know. Somewhere along the way, we were taught to hide our feelings, to guard our hearts like fortresses, to act like nothing touches us. Don't let them see you cry. Don't tell them what you're really thinking. Keep it cool. But I'm telling you now, none of that protects you. It only disconnects you. It silences the most powerful voice you have, your truth. Vulnerability isn't about being soft. It's about being real asterisk. It's standing in your own story, even if your knees are shaking, even if your voice breaks, even if the world might not understand. When Luke stood up and told the story of his hookup, not to brag, not to be dramatic, but to unpack it that was vulnerability, that was courage, because you know what's easy, laughing it off, changing the subject. Pretending it meant nothing, but what takes guts, saying that moment made me question myself, saying I'm not sure how I feel about it, saying I want to understand what really happened there. That is where growth lies. In the moments when we risk being misunderstood for the sake of being honest, we are told to be strong, but we are rarely told that strength includes feeling asterisk. Vulnerability is the bridge between who you are and who you're becoming. When you drop the act and speak from the raw center of your experience, you open the door to transformation. You stop pretending to be the version of yourself that fits someone else's expectations. You say, "This is me, flaws and all, learning, stumbling, growing," and I'm not ashamed of that. And let me tell you something else, being vulnerable doesn't mean spilling everything to everyone. It means being authentic with asterisk yourself asterisk first. It means asking, what do I actually feel about that night? What did I learn about how I connect with others? What do I want to change? And then, if you're brave enough, you take that inner truth and you speak it into the world. Not for validation, but for clarity. Because vulnerability brings clarity, and clarity brings peace. Luke didn't have to share his story. Most people wouldn't. But when he did, he took something that could have just been another forgettable college memory and turned it into something with asterisk meaning asterisk. Something with asterisk intention asterisk, and that kind of self-exposure, when done with purpose, becomes a catalyst for change, not just for yourself, but for every person listening, because someone out there is holding back their truth. Someone out there feels alone, and when you speak up, you make space for them to breathe. Don't be fooled by the world's obsession with appearing untouchable. The people who change things, the ones who move you, inspire you, and help you heal, aren't the ones pretending. They're the ones bleeding truth. They're the ones who say, here's what hurt, here's what I feared, here's how I showed up, and here's how I'll do better. Vulnerability is how we stop performing and start living. Let me know if you'd like this turned into a podcast script F, used in a speech outline F, or paired with a real life example F. Consent and clarity matter. Healthy relationships start with mutual understanding and respect. Consent and clarity are not optional. They are the foundation of every real connection, every honest relationship, and every moment that has integrity. This isn't just about saying yes or no. This is about respect, about understanding, about standing face to face with another human being and asking, not just with your words, but with your energy asterisk, are we both here? Are we both in this? Do we both understand what this moment means? Asterisk, because when we don't stop to ask, when we assume, when we rush past clarity, that's when confusion creeps in, and with it, pain and regret. You can't be vague when it comes to intimacy. You can't hope someone understands your silence, or that their half-hearted smile means everything's okay. And you sure as hell can't base your actions on what the room is doing, what your friends are cheering on, or what the music is making you feel. You need to pause. You need to check in with them and with yourself, because clarity protects both people. It's not a mood killer, it's a soul saver. It's how we make sure we're not just touching bodies, but honoring boundaries. Luke's story forces us to look at this head on. He could have glossed over the moment, said, she was into it, I was into it. What's the big deal? But he didn't. He reflected. He wondered. He asked, was there clarity? And that question right there, that's the difference between someone chasing ego and someone building character. It's not enough that someone didn't say no. Did they say yes? Did they lean in with the same energy you did? Were they fully present? Were asterisk you asterisk, and clarity doesn't just happen in the moment. It begins asterisk before asterisk the moment. It's built in how we talk to each other, how we listen, how we show up. If you're not willing to have an honest conversation before something intimate happens, then you're not ready for the intimacy itself. That's the truth. Intimacy is not a game. It's not a reward. It's a choice between two whole people who both feel safe, seen, and respected. And if you can't guarantee that, pause, walk away, breathe. It's okay not to have all the answers. It's okay to say, I'm not sure what I'm feeling right now. Or, I want to be really clear before anything happens. Because the world doesn't need more blurred lines. It needs leaders. It needs people, especially young people, who can stand in those messy, charged moments and say, I care about how this feels tomorrow. I care about who we both are after this. That's not soft. That's powerful. That's real masculinity. That's real humanity. We've been fed this idea that clarity ruins the vibe, that asking too many questions makes you awkward, but I'm telling you, the opposite is true. Clarity asterisk creates asterisk trust. It opens space for real connection. It says, I see you, I value you. I want this to feel good, not just for me, but for asterisk us asterisk. And that kind of intentionality is what separates a hookup from a harm, a story from a scar. Let me know if you'd like this tailored for a school workshop F, condensed into key bullet points F, or performed as spoken word F. Reflection leads to growth. One moment doesn't define you, but how you learn from it can. Reflection is where the real change begins. You can live through 100 experiences, go to 1,000 parties, make every mistake in the book. But if you never stop and ask yourself what it meant, what it taught you, what it really did to your heart, then none of it helps you grow. That's the hard truth. We don't become wiser just by going through things. We become wiser by reflecting on them, by sitting with the discomfort, by unpacking the choices we made when no one was watching. And that takes courage, way more courage than just pretending everything's fine. Luke could have let that hookup slide into the past like it was nothing. He could have told himself it was college, it happens, move on. But he didn't. He paused. He asked the question most people are afraid to ask. Why did that night matter to me? What did I feel before, during, and after? That's reflection. That's growth. That's where accountability lives. Not in punishment, but in understanding. Because you can't change what you don't first choose to face. And yes, reflection hurts sometimes. It pulls back the curtain and shows you parts of yourself you weren't ready to see. Maybe you didn't speak up when you should have. Maybe you acted out of fear or pressure or ego, but guess what? That's human. That doesn't make you broken. It makes you alive. What matters is what you do next. Do you bury it? Do you laugh it off? Or do you sit in it long enough to learn something real? Because learning isn't always comfortable, but it's always necessary. We live in a world that tells you to keep moving, to stay distracted, to numb it out. Scroll, drink, hook up again, forget. But reflection forces you to slow down. It says, no, don't run from this. Sit with it. Let it teach you something. And when you do that, when you actually listen to what your heart is trying to say, you unlock growth on a whole other level. You stop repeating the same cycle. You stop blaming everyone else. You start realizing, I have choices. I have power. I have the ability to show up differently next time. And let me tell you, there will be a next time. Another moment, another choice, and the question is, who are you going to be in that moment? Reflection is what prepares you for that. It doesn't erase the past, but it makes sure the past doesn't own you. It turns regret into responsibility. It turns confusion into clarity. It turns a frat party hookup into a turning point. So don't skip this step. Don't shrug off your experiences like they're meaningless. If you want to become the kind of person who inspires others, who leads with intention, who loves with respect, you've got to do the inner work. You've got to reflect with honesty, not shame, with curiosity, not judgment. That's how you grow. That's how you evolve. Let me know if you'd like this reframed as a dialogue F, formatted for journaling prompts F, or expanded into a short video script F. You are more than your choices. Mistakes aren't identities. They're lessons in disguise. You are more than your choices. You are more than that one night, that one text, that one mistake. We live in a world that loves to define people by moments, especially the messy ones. But let me tell you right now, your worst decision does not get to be your full identity. One moment does not erase your humanity. It does not cancel your potential. You are allowed to learn. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to rise after you fall. And you're allowed to become someone stronger than you were before. We've all been there. A decision made too fast, a conversation avoided, a silence that said too much, and afterward it haunts you. The overthinking begins. You wonder what others are saying, what they're thinking, whether you've damaged your image beyond repair. But let me ask you something deeper. What are you saying to yourself in those quiet moments? Because that matters more than any rumor or whisper ever could. You have to decide right then. Am I going to live in shame, or am I going to live in growth? Luke's story isn't about a perfect man making perfect choices. It's about a real person owning an imperfect moment and choosing to rise above it. That's what this is about, not perfection, not performing morality, not pretending to be woke or polished or wise beyond your years. No, this is about integrity through imperfection. It's about realizing that even if you messed up, even if you didn't speak clearly, even if you weren't as aware as you should have been, you can evolve. You can ask better questions next time. You can be more present, more conscious, more grounded. But the key is this: don't let a single moment turn into your whole story. Don't let one night define your character. You are not the party, you are not the mistake, you are not the awkward silence or the texts you regret sending. You are how you respond to those things. You are the apology. You are the conversation you start afterward. You are the reflection you dare to do. You are the action you take when no one is cheering and no one is watching. And yes, there will be people who want to label you, who freeze you in time, who say, "Oh, you're that guy who..." Let them talk. Let them label. That's not your problem. Your job is to keep becoming. Your job is to outgrow every box they try to trap you in. That's your power. Not to pretend you've never slipped, but to prove that slip wasn't the end of you. That it was a stepping stone, a wake-up call, a moment of truth. We don't inspire others by being flawless. We inspire them by being transparent, by showing them that growth is messy, that accountability is real, that healing is possible, and most of all, by standing in the truth that we are never just our past. We are who we decide to be next. Let me know if you'd like this turned into a spoken performance F, summarized into a lesson plan F, or paired with a real-world story F. Lead with integrity. Your actions shape who you become. Choose to become someone you admire. When you speak up, you shift the atmosphere. You give permission to others who are still afraid, still hiding, still wondering if their voice is allowed in the room. And let me tell you this, your voice is allowed. Not only allowed, it's needed needed to call out what's broken, needed to challenge what's silent, needed to build something better. We've been told to stay quiet, to play it cool, to just go along with it. But silence is not neutral. Silence is complicity, and in a culture where too many people laugh off pain and turn trauma into gossip, speaking up is a revolution. Luke could have stayed quiet. He could have let the frat party story fade into that gray area so many stories live in. But instead, he told the truth. He didn't yell. He didn't preach. He shared. He brought his experience into the light and said, "This happened, and I want to understand it better." And that right there, that is how you break cycles. That is how you shift narratives. That is how you become a leader, not just in title, but in impact. Because the moment you speak up, someone else finds their courage. That's how change begins. Not with one person changing everything, but with one person changing one thing, and then that ripples, that spreads, that inspires. The strongest voices are not always the loudest. Sometimes they're the most honest, the most grounded, the most consistent, and those voices become anchors in a world that's spinning too fast. But speaking up isn't always about standing at a mic or writing a post. It's in the conversations that matter. It's in calling out that joke that wasn't funny. It's in asking the hard questions at the right moment. It's in checking on someone afterward. It's in looking at yourself and saying, "I know I can do better." Every time you use your voice with intention and heart, you create space for truth. And truth is where healing starts, and no, it won't always be comfortable. You may lose people, you may face judgment, you may have moments where your voice shakes, but let it shake, let it tremble, speak anyway. Because courage is not the absence of fear, it's action in spite of it. And if we want a world where consent is clear, where people feel safe, where stories aren't buried under shame, then someone has to speak first. Why not you? You're not too young. You're not too inexperienced. You don't need a perfect track record or fancy words. You just need the willingness to say, "This matters." To say, "We can do better." To say, "Here's what I've learned." That alone is power. That alone is leadership. That alone changes the temperature of every room you walk into. So speak, loud or soft, angry or calm, stumbling or smooth, just speak, because someone out there is listening, waiting for a voice like yours to show them what's possible. Let me know if you'd like this shaped into a leadership workshop F, adapted for a social media post F, or used in a peer mentorship talk F.